Hi, I'm Rachel Mothy, and I'm going to go through some strategies for teaching and working with adult learners, specifically working with other teachers in your school to work on something that you want to incorporate into their learning. I'm focusing on blended learning, but this should be applicable to any type of new information. The four strategies that I want to focus on are going to be setting a goal before beginning the learning process, asking teachers for personal connections and examples to what we are learning, proposing learning through problem solving, so giving them time and opportunity to work together, and then allowing for practice and making it applicable to their class that they will have the next day. All four of these are going to help build meaning and involve all of the voices in the learning process. So the first one is setting a goal. When we set a goal, we want to make meaning for the learners. This comes from a process in all organizations where anytime we want to make a change, we first have to make meaning for that change. Kawasaki proposed that one of the ways that we can make meaning is by increasing the quality of life. By setting the goal and explaining why we are doing the learning, hopefully we will get to the purpose of this is not going to add stress or workload to your day. This is going to make your teaching better and better for the students and make your life easier. So by asking how will I improve my teaching, we are going to discuss how this will have a positive impact on their teaching without adding to their workload. Goal setting should increase the readiness to learn for adults. So for adults, they have to have that buy-in, that readiness to learn. This is going to be different than normal pedagogy where the students are told what they have to learn and in what order they need to learn it. These questions here are to help frame a conversation around the goal setting so that it is natural and allows for the teachers to get comfortable with one another and the presenter. Different than in the classroom where they're expecting to be told what they need to learn, adults want to know why this is applicable to them and why they need to learn it and how they're going to use it. The second strategy is asking for personal connections. So when we ask for personal connections, we are bringing in a wealth of knowledge that all of the adults in the room have. When thinking about teaching adults, we want to think about what they might have experience with and allow time for that conversation to flow as long as it stays in kind of that related realm, because we're not going to be able to think of everything that everybody can bring to the table. Groups of adults are going to be diverse, and this gives us a base to work from and will help the groups problem solve later. Pappas discussed the importance of having a bunch of resources, and these resources we tend to have from personal experience. This is going to be different when we're working with adult learners because they have those resources. We can bring resources to the table, we can direct them to different things, but we do not want to ignore the resources that they have and that they know and that they're going to use, which we don't normally think about when we're teaching students. So the next strategy is proposed learning through problem solving. This is another big difference when working with adult learners than school age learners, is that orientation to learning. Educators Technology discusses that adult learners want to perform a task and solve a problem because this will have more relevance to their real life task. Being able to see themselves doing it is important. The way that we do that is by asking them to solve a problem. This is different than the students we work with where their focus is on acquisition of knowledge. What we're doing is not asking teachers to learn new content or memorize information. We want them to apply what they know in a new way or create new pathways for learning. By proposing a problem and asking them to solve it, we have them use what we are teaching and see how applicable it is to their profession. So we say, here's a bunch of stuff that I want you to do. This is how we're going to do it. And then we're going to ask them to use it and actually see how easy it is and what it will do for them. So the example that I have here, it's a blended learning example, was we cannot have 24 students in the classroom. What types of tasks can we give students to do with an aid or on their own? They would work as a team. I could ask them to create a story, create a flowchart, outline a lesson for this problem. And they're going to be now drawing on everything that they've learned from us, that they've learned from each other, that they have previous experience with, and solve the problem. This is going to lend into that time for practice where We want to give teachers time to set this up so that they don't have to think about this and add to their to-do list and their task sheet. So once they have a handle on what we want them to incorporate into their classroom, we should give them time to practice it. This could be discuss or outline what the lesson that you have planned for next Monday could look like if you did it in this new style. Or it could be, okay, I know you have the units planned for the next month. What are you going to teach after that? Let's plan that now. Or it could be, hey, we have a PSAT day coming up. That's a disrupted lesson. Let's make a standalone lesson in this style. See how the students respond to it. Then come back together after we've practiced it once, twice, and plan more and practice more in an environment where questions can be answered immediately, and there can be a group of people that can help build on and work with and kind of answer questions and flow back and forth. These are the sources that I used to come up with these strategies that I talked about. They also have a wealth of other strategies to look at if you want other ideas. Thank you and have a good day.